Welcome to this Expo 50 Plus Saturday mornings questions and answer live with Maureen and John.
Good morning.
Hope everyone's doing great out there today and in checking out some of the different exhibits. And I'm happy that you stopped by here today. And if you weren't able to stop by, we're going to have a few questions and things that people might be thinking about whenever they're ready to start to downsize, or as we like to call right size.
Well, when you're thinking the move, what do you need to consider?
So some things to really consider when you're starting to think about right sizing is, have you had a discussion with your family members about selling your family home? Sometimes that's very emotionally based, both for yourself and for your children. So it's a good thing to talk to them about it first. You also want to think about tax consequences, because sometimes depending on your home that you're selling, there may be some things that affect your taxes. You also might want to consider, is there anybody else that needs to be involved in the process? Are you close to your children, or do they need to be involved in the process of deciding to sell the home? And if so, they want to be a part of all the different aspects of that.
So what are the key steps in this process?
Number one is you want to think about what housing options do you want to, where do you want to move? Where would you like to spend the next chapter? The next adventure? What are you looking for? Are you looking for a walkable neighborhood? Are you looking just to downsize maybe to a townhome community? Are you looking for a new people? Maybe you want to go to a 55 and older community. Maybe you need a little bit of help. Maybe you want to go to assisted living. Maybe you want to go to a place that's just closer to maybe family members that have moved away, and maybe you want to be closer to them now. There's a lot of different ways to think about that. You also want to make sure that maybe you want to stay in your home, but you just don't know how to maybe adapt it to your new lifestyle. Maybe you just want to redo some parts of your home and make adaptations. Maybe you need to think of different legal considerations, or financial considerations are always important when you have a lot of people's houses are the biggest asset they have. So there's some tax and legal consequences to that. That's good to discuss ahead of time. And then just about selling your current home. If you wanted to sell your current home, what would you need to do? And those are really the things to consider at the very beginning when you're starting to think about right sizing.
And what are some of the reasons that people may decide that the time is right to now right size?
Well, I think that everybody has their own reasons for that, but some of the main ones I would say is sometimes people are just tired of the home maintenance burden. They've had a house that's 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths or bigger, and it's just themselves and their husband, or maybe just themselves, and they just don't need that much to take care of. There's rooms they haven't been into for a while. They're just sitting there with things in it, or they're heating and cooling areas that they're not even using anymore. Sometimes a major life event might have happened. Maybe there's something happened with your health, or maybe with one of your family members that may make it a decision to change your lifestyle a little bit. And sometimes people just want to live closer to family. You just want to move wherever you're, the very transient lifestyle we live these days. A lot of times people used to all stay in one town, and now people are all over the country, and you may want to change your location. Sometimes it's a financial consideration. Maybe you lived in an area that had there are as many reasons to move as there are people. Everybody has their own ideas. But those are kind of part of the main ones that end up coming up a lot.
So when you're ready to right size, what's the process that's involved?
That is stressful. So you need to mitigate the stress as much as possible by having someone that can be your advocate. www.kw.com. Thank you so much for visiting our channel today. Please remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. We'd love to see you soon in the future.